Hello everyone, it's Kathy and welcome back to my YouTube channel and my craft room here at Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. I'm so glad that you were able to join me today. This is a recorded video, but I wanted to do something. You see what I have here. I have the trucking along. The punch is not available and it says it won't be back in until the mid part of October, which I'm just sick over. The reason I say that is because so many people wanted this, but I knew, and every demonstrator knew, this was going to sell out fast. I jumped on the bandwagon that very morning and made sure I got mine ordered because the stamp set's still available. So if you have the a scan and cut, or if you're good at fussy cutting, you can still stamp this and cut it out, and it's pretty even lines, so it's really not that hard to fussy cut. The punch is cute, but you don't have to have it in order to do this. But anyway, without any further ado, I do want to let you know where you can get this. This is not in any of our catalogs. This is actually a online exclusive. To get to the online exclusive, click on my store, my Stampin' Up website, and it's listed below the video. You can also find it on my here on my YouTube channel. At the top of my banner over to the right hand side, you can find it there as well. And all you do is click, and once you go there, hit shop and then type in the search online exclusives, and it will take you to the page where you can get all these. Now I'm going to have the number for the stamp set. I'll do the number for the punch too, but just please be aware that the punch is not orderable right now. It's out, and when it's going to be a couple of months before it comes back in, what, 3 months almost, that's saying something. But we are going through that supply and demand thing that all manufacturers are going through right now. So just bear with us. What I want to do, and I think what we're going to do, I'm going to move the punch over to the side for a minute, and I want to bring out just the stamp. And if you notice, you have an outline stamp and you have a detailed stamp. I'm only going to use my outline stamp, and I'm thinking I might want to use the tires. We're going to try the tires and see how that works. All of these have a detail and a fill-in stamp, like just like this tree. There's your outline, and then you can come back in and stamp your tree, your greenery on top of it. I think that's so cute. This stamp set offers so much. You have a, for the back of our pickup truck, we could have packages, Christmas packages, and we can also ink them. So we can, or we can color them with our Stampin' Blends. You got rails for the truck, which I think are adorable. You got a Christmas tree you can put in the back of your truck. Like I said, the palm tree and the surfboard is so cute if you live in one of those warm climates during the summer. There's autumn flowers, there's spring flowers. So there's so much you can do with this, and I love the special delivery, sending you sunny thoughts. The sunny thoughts would be so cute with the surfboard and the beach ball and the palm tree. I mean, that's just stinking cute. And then you can build a scene because you've got some grounding here, you've got some florals here, and there's so much you can do with this. I just want to tell you that it is endless, the possibilities with this particular stamp. You've got the clouds where you can fill in different colors. So let's go ahead and play. I have a half a sheet of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to cut this. I moved my trimmer. Y'all see me? No, you didn't see that, but I reached for my regular place that I keep my trimmer. Guess what? It wasn't there. I have a new home for it. So, do y'all do that? Are you constantly fluffing your craft room? It seems like I always am. But anyway, I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4. That's half of 8 1/2, and this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 piece, half a sheet of cardstock. So I want these two pieces so I can use them for stamping, and we'll see where we go with this. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to grab out my Stampin' Pierce mat, because I am using photopolymer. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to try to see, yeah, that'll work. I want to see where I want to stamp this, and I want to get my little tires under there as well. So let's get a stamp block. And I am using a D, and it will fit on the D. Fits better this way. So I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to sit those over there just for a minute. And I'm going to use some Memento Tuxedo Black ink because I know I want to alcohol color this. Now you can use the stamp and and stamp your color in, but I want to use my blends. So I'm going to stamp this really well. And I'm going to come down right about here. Right about there at the bottom of this page, and I'm going to stamp that truck. I'm giving it some nice pressure because I want a good impression. Gorgeous. Isn't that so stinking cute? Alright, I'm going to grab another stamp block that will accommodate my tires. And I'm going to turn those upside down, line it up. I probably wish I'd have done my tires first. I think I need a little bit bigger block. But that's okay. We'll get this. So I'm going to ink that up really good. And I'm going to come in. And I'm trying not to get my head in the camera, so bear with me. That didn't do good. Alright, let's turn it over and try this again. Let's try the tires first, and then we'll put the truck over top of the tires. That might work a little bit better. So there's my tires. That did not work either. I am glad I've got some extra cardstock. Let me grab my Stampin' Scrub. Yeah, it picked up ink on the stamp itself, and that's what this came from, and this, and we do not want that. So I'm going to clean that off. I need a little bit of water to activate it. Something like that. And then so now we are going to try this again, and my tires need to go like that. So I'm going to ink, and we'll come down here and stamp. That looks better. Now I'm going to ink up my truck again. I think I might need to re-ink my Memento pad. Now I'm going to get over top of this time so I can see exactly where I'm stamping. And that looks pretty good. Ah, that's good. Now we could have just colored those tires. It would have been just as easy. But I figured since I had that little stamp out, we'd try it and see exactly how it works. And I'm good with that. So what I want to do is I'm going to grab some Stampin' Blends, but I'm going to clean off that stamp really quick. And this one. Okay, those are done. So now I'm going to grab my Real Red and a Pool Party. And you're probably saying, Pool Party? What are you going to do at Pool Party? I'm going to show you. Well, after I threw my markers all over the floor, dropped my red ones. And I did get some new set of red ones because my old ones were dried out. The tips were messed up, and I'm going to give you some tips on using the tips. A tip on a tip. I'm going to do my windows first, and I chose the light Pool Party for that. And I just want to go in and put down just a tiny bit of color, just where my windows would be. That little back window and that side one. And then I'm going to come in with my dark Stampin' Blend, my dark Real Red. And I'm going to use the little bullet tip, not my brush tip. And you don't have to be quite as careful with this tip as you do the brush, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a minute. I'm going to come up and I'm just going to put a line of color all around. And I'm going to go along these lines just to give my truck a little emphasis here. And along the bottom. And you see what I'm doing, I'm just basically putting some color in, just a little bit here and there. And what we're going to do, we're going to close that one up, and I'm going to come back with my light real red, and we're just going to do some blending. And this time I am using this brush tip. Whenever you're using your brush tip, you want to go very gentle. You don't want to mash down on it, you know, really press hard, because you can damage that tip, and you don't want to do that. How do I know that? Because I've damaged tips. So we'll just get that all here. Okay, then I'm just going to very gently color that in. Something like that. And you can go back if you want to do a little bit more shading on that truck. I think that looks perfect just like it is. Well, I see one little spot I didn't get. And that's right there. Okay, now I'm going to grab some, I'm going to grab a smoky slate, and I think I'm going to do the dark smoky slate. And I'm going to come in, I'm going to use the bullet tip, and I'm going to do the little bumper, and right inside the wheels. I'm going to come back with the light. Thought I was just going to use the dark, but I do like to do a little bit of shading and blending whenever I can. So this is my light. And there we go. I think that looks cute. So you can see that we use very minimal amount of Stampin' blends. I used my smoky slate, the real red, and then the light pool party. Those were the 5 colors that I used, or actually 3 colors and 5 markers. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and punch out my truck. Now, like I said, if you don't have the punch, you can very easily fussy cut this little truck. It's very easy to do. But since I've got the punch, I'm going to go ahead and use it. And y'all be on the lookout. If anybody wants this punch, do me a favor. Shoot me an email and let me know, and I will email you the date of when this is due to come back in. That way you'll have that date, you can put it on your calendar, and then you can actually go and check Stampin' Up on that day to see if it's available. Well, there's our little truck. So the next thing I want to do is I want to build the truck up a little bit. And look at this. I've got another truck here. This is one I colored yesterday. I'm going to build this up and make it heavier just by tucking. I thought I had another one. I do. I got a couple more. This is one I did where I stamped it and then stamped the color over it. I didn't like that as good as I did doing the detail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack this one here. This is going to end up being 4 trucks thick, but I want it to have some depth. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these all together. So, and I'm going to use just regular glue for that, liquid glue, because I don't think it needs to be anything special. And I'm going to put glue all over the back of this. And then bring this one to the back of this. And I'm going to line that up just like that. And then I'm going to put glue on the back of this one, and you got the gist of it. We're just going to keep stacking these. Okay, so now that we've got these all glued together, we've got a nice little thick piece for a truck, and I wanted it like that because I want this to be on dimensionals, and I want it to feel like it's really a thick truck. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this piece of paper, and this paper comes from the One Horse Open Sleigh Designer Series paper, and y'all know how beautiful this paper is. It is gorgeous. So find a piece that has a scenery like you want. I like this. I don't know why, but this piece really speaks to me. So I'm going to cut a piece off of that one. I'm sure that I could probably go through here and find another one that I like just as well. But I'm just going to slide this back in here for now, because I've pretty much decided I want this one. And I'm going to grab some boho blue, or do I want Misty Moonlight? Let's see. I think I could use either or. Boho blue. I think I'm going to go with the boho blue. I think it has a nice calming effect. Alright, so now I have my piece of boho blue, but I need a card base. This is going to be my matte, and I chose that color because it plays so well with this piece of Designer Series paper. So let me get this scrap out of my way, and here are our pieces. So I decided for my card base, I'll use a piece of Early Espresso, and this is a really pretty brown, and this is an 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and I'm going to turn it and let it be landscape like this. So I want to put my piece of boho blue on top of this, and this piece measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So that mats on top of our card perfectly. So then I needed a piece of my Designer Series paper, and I went ahead and cut this while I was off camera. So what I did is I decided where I wanted my piece to be. So the first thing I've done was I cut it down this way. So I knew that I needed this piece to be 3 3/4. So I cut off here a piece that was 2 inches. So I cut a 2-inch strip off of the top. That left me with 4 inches this way. So then I knew that this needed to be 3 1/4, so I took off 1/4 of an inch off of my bottom, and then I cut it this way, and I took a piece off of here that was, actually I cut this side down first. After I cut the top off, I cut this piece off, and then I went back and I cut the 1/4 inch off of the bottom. So anyway, that leaves us with this piece right here, and that piece is going to go on the front of our card just about like that. And I love those colors. I think they play so well together, and it just makes the whole card pop. And like I said, we have this really a substantial piece, and I'm thinking I might want to use one of my little wobbles, and I'll have a link underneath this video to Amazon where you can pick these up. That's where I got mine. What did I do with them? I know I got wobbles in here somewhere. There they are. I don't have the tab on the top of them, but I think it would just look so cute to have that little truck wobbling a little bit like it's wobbling down the road. These are so easy to use, and they're fun. So you've seen me use these before, but I just didn't have a link then for y'all to be able to purchase them. So I'll put a link under my video, under this video. And what you do is you put the springy piece to the top like that, and it has adhesive on it. So let's go ahead and take off. I'll tell you what, let's get our card base together first before we do that. So what I want to do first is I want to glue my Designer Series paper to my card mat. And I think to do that I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal. So I like the Stampin' Seal Plus. It's my favorite. And I'm just going to go around the perimeter of my card with just little short pieces. And it's a good thing I'm using short pieces because I just ran out. So we're going to give them a refill. And I do keep my refills because I use this stuff a lot. And when you get it, it comes in a piece like this. And it just says Stampin' Seal Refill. And it's in a little package like this. And take that out, lay it down with your Stampin' Seal Plus showing right like that. And then you can pop this open very easily. Pick this one up out of it, lay it to the side, take your new one and pop it in. Just like that. Once that fits in there and it fits over these two little brackets right there, then you can just pop this back on. You'll hear it snap, and then this one is ready to use. So now we're good to go, and we're ready to use some more Stampin' Seal across this card, and we'll put one little piece across the back. And now I'm ready to set this down. Now a secret of the Stampin' Seal that you might not know is that you can, when you first lay it down, if you need to reposition it, you can by picking it back up. If you got it where you want it and you know this is where you want it, then just do this little number and you are good to go. And we're going to do the same thing with putting it onto our card base. We are going to just use a little bit of Stampin' Seal. This stuff has gotten so much better than when it first came out. So if you tried it when it first came out and swore off of it, you really need to try it again now because it works so good, so easy to use, and it's one of the best dry adhesives that I've ever used. I would not have said that back when it first came out because it took me a while, but I think they reformed it or did something to it that makes it so much easier to use now. Alright, I'm going to lay that down just like that. Know it's where I want it, then I'm going to give it a press. And now we're going to put our wobble on our truck. You have two adhesive sheets that come off. The little piece, and we're just going to pull that off like that. And I'm going to hook that to my truck where I want it to wobble at. And I'm going to do it right about here in that larger area. And I'm going to stick that down really good. I'm going to press it. Now I'm going to take the adhesive backer off of this. Now the wobbles are not a Stampin' Up product, but I love using them on my pieces because it really does make a difference. So get your finger, you could use your pokey tool or take your pick tool to pull that off. It probably would be easier. But once you get up under it, it comes right off. Well, it comes off in pieces. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it splits in the middle. So once you get that all off, like so. There we go. So now we've got our little wobble piece completely loose. We can put this wherever we want it. And I think, you know what? I have one more thing I wanted to do before I did this. So let's lay that upside down. I'm going to lay that there so nothing hits it. And I'm going to lay my card up there. And I'm going to get this trash out of my way. I want a little Christmas tree to be on the back of that truck. So I'm going to use this piece of scrap paper that I had a while ago. And we're going to stamp. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I like to take my used up ones and just drop them inside the pouch that the new one came in, and then I just toss the whole thing in the trash. Alright, let's get my stamp set out. And if you notice, there's a little Christmas tree. You have a detailed and a fill-in. I'm going to use the detailed. I think I'm going to use this one right here. Let's see how that looks. And we're going to stamp that in Shaded Spruce. And please excuse Bella, she is snoring up a storm as usual. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp it. And I'm using my Shaded Spruce. And these are so easy. I don't know. Let me look at the other one. Maybe I want that one. Let's try it and see. Yeah, that's the outline there. Let's see if we really want to do it like this. Nope. I think it's a little too much, so I'm going to go with the outline. Like that. And that will give me the opportunity to come back in and do some coloring. So I'm going to grab my Old Olive and my Greeny Apple Green, and I'm going to grab the dark ones of both. Well, let's get dark Old Olive. Dark Old Olive and dark Greeny Apple Green. And I'm going to start with my Old Olive, and I'm just going to come in here and put a little color. Just scribble some color down. It doesn't have to be rhyme or reason. And I'm going to come back. Something like that. And just give that a little bit of color. Now we're going to define it when we cut it out. So I'm going to take my paper snips and I am going to come in. And the bottom really doesn't matter because that needs to go right up against the truck. So I'm going to just do this and get that cut completely out of my cardstock. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to do my little tree thing, just my little in and out, all the way up to the top. And then I'm going to do the same thing across here. I'm going to follow that in and out. Something like that. Now our Christmas tree is going to go in, and I'm not sure I like that. Alright, let's regroup. I'm going to stamp that again because I'm not real sure that I like it. Let me get my Stampin' Scrub. Let's get this trash off of our desk so we don't have a mess. And I'm going to clean my stamps. And that does go this way. I usually make sure that I have my wet side here and a dry side there. So I'm going to clean these both up, and I'm going to leave my detailed stamp on. And now I'm going to stamp this again, and I'm going to stamp it like that. I'm going to do this in the Memento Black, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to do it in black and then color it in green. I think I'll get a better effect. That's a detailed. I think I pulled off the wrong one. I did. Okay. That's alright. We got this. I grabbed the wrong one. I was thinking that was the detailed one, and this is the one that colors it in. So that's not the one I want. This is the one I want. So this one I want to do in the black. That's what I want. You know, when you're crafting, sometimes it takes a couple of tries to get where you want it. So that is good. So now I'm going to take my old olive and I'm just going to outline my tree. Something like that. I'm going to hit some of these places inside where the lines are at. And then I'm going to come back with the Granny Apple Green. And now let's cut this out and see what we get. So I'm just going to trim around that little piece and take it off. And of course I dropped it. Alright, so once again I am going to go up this side like this. And I'm going to come down this side. And then I'm going to follow this one straight across because that's going to go against the bottom of the truck. So let's see what we got now. So then it's going to actually look like a tree hanging off of the back of the pickup truck like that. I like that much better. So I'm going to take a tiny bit of glue and put right here on the bottom edge, and I'll show you exactly where I'm going to put that. We're going to put glue just across this bottom edge. Just a very thin line. Then we're going to pick our truck up and we're going to put that right about there. And just give it a sec to dry. Once it dries, if you're showing a little bit of white up here, you can just snip it off. Yep, that looks better. So let's clean up our mess. And look, you can see now how this little bobble is really going to work so well with this. So we're going to put our truck right about there. Give it a good press because that wobble, you want that wobble to really stick back there. And look at this, our truck is going down the road in the snow with the Christmas tree on the back of it. And this is just such a great, and you hear the noise in the background, it's my vacuum cleaner emptying. I got a Roomba that is doing her thing this morning. So it's nice that I can sit in here and craft while my floors get vacuumed. So that's a wonderful thing. All right, so now all we need to do is we need to find something that we're going to put a sentiment on, and I think I'm just going to do a little strip, and I got another piece of white right here, and I'm going to use my VersaFine to stamp my sentiment. And I think for this one, I'm going to put "Wishing You a Festive Christmas." So I'm going to stamp this right about here. I'm going to card up there so I don't get ink on it. And I'm going to grab another block and pick that up. I'm going to go ahead and ink that. Get my little Stampin' Pierce mat out here again. So pretty. So pretty. Let's cover that up, and now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to do a little bubble cut around this. So I'm going to go down. And then I'm going to just kind of circle around the letters. And I'm going to go straight across that because I want to come back to here. And I'm going to go down and around. Just like that, and I'm going to stick that right here. And I think what we might do is put that in up on dimensionals as well, because I think it will just be super pretty like that. And I love the little truck wobbling down the road. I think it's so cute. Maybe, yeah, I think right there. Let's get some dimensionals on the back of this. I don't know if we can accommodate the big ones. Maybe right here. Oh yeah, that'll work. Maybe a couple of small ones on the side. So I'm going to grab a little one. These are our minis, and they work so good for little small places like that. Yep, I was looking to make sure it didn't show from the front. And we'll do one right there. And now I'm just going to pull these off. I'm just going to stick that down right there like it's a little banner between those trees. Isn't that so cute? And of course, you know, we're going to need to put a mat on the inside, so I'm going to grab a piece of white cardstock because I think the white will be pretty inside. And we are going to cut this down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then we can bring our little card back over and open it, and we can put our mat right here on the inside. Now if you want to stamp something on it, now would definitely be the time to do it. I think I'm going to go in and grab just a stamp that says Merry Christmas, and I'm looking to see which ones I have. Oh, I love this one. So this is a nice big one that says Merry Christmas, and we're going to grab that one, and we're going to stamp Merry Christmas right in the middle of this one, and I think I'm going to do it in the boho blue. And right here in the middle, and I'm going to try to center it somewhat. I love it, I love it. That boho blue is so pretty. So now we can just go ahead and stick this down in here, and we have a Christmas card done for our Christmas card mailing for this year. So, you know, I say start making your Christmas cards now and just make 1 or 2 every here and there. And by the time it comes time to send out your cards, you'll have them all made. And if you're one of those people that likes to send the same card to everybody, I would say grab your stamp set, grab your dies, and start working on them now, because Christmas is going to come regardless. So why not have a head start on some of your work so you won't have so much to do when the time gets here. All right, well, so that is our card for today. What do y'all think? It's so cute. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wishing you a festive Christmas. And then when they open it up on the inside, it's going to say Merry Christmas. And look at that card. That truck is just putting along down that road. Love it. I hope y'all do. God bless and keep you. And until we craft again, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and as I always say in closing, let everything that you say and do bring glory to our Savior Jesus. He is so worthy. I love you guys. I love the Lord, and until next time, bye-bye.